one evening at night, about 9 o'clock at night on a Friday night, she came over to my place because she knew where I lived. I just didn't know where she lived.
Right.
And she came over to my place and she said, "My dad wants to talk to you." And I said, "I don't want to talk to your dad. I don't know.
No, when
I
you're
got
19,
nothing,
you don't want to talk to the dad. No way.
no, I got
Wait, no.
nothing to say to him."
Right.
And she said, "No, my father is a very important man and he wants to tell you something. He's got something to tell you. And you better listen. You better come." And I
Mm-hmm.
thought, well, that sounds interesting. Maybe I will. Okay. So I said, all right. So I go back with her and I walk 1 block to her house. When we got to her house, her father happened to be coming out from the house, from his house. He came out as he saw us coming up to the house. We were walking toward the house. He came out and saw us. When he came out, I got a really very powerful, strange feeling about him.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel in the hair on the back of my neck raised. I could feel there was something strange about this man.
So, something spooky, something that gives
Really
you the chill.
spooky, but I could feel it very pronouncedly. And but he motioned for us, come on in, come on in. And I kept thinking, I don't know if I want to come on in.
Yeah.
I don't know who this is. I don't know if I want to come on in.
But to you, Jordan, they look normal. They look like humans and
They
everything.
look they regular. They look normal, but they didn't
Average people.
feel normal.
Mm.
They don't feel normal. And the moment I saw him, I felt something about him. I didn't know what it was. I just felt something about him. I very strongly feel. You say you get vibes off of people. I really got a vibe off of him.
Yeah.
So anyway, he said, "Come on in." So I thought to myself, I don't want to go in. I don't know who he is, but my girlfriend's father, so he can't be that bad. My girlfriend is nice, and if this is her father, even if I'm feeling something, I don't care. I'll go in. So I go in with my girlfriend. And she has a sister about 10 years old. She was about 17.
So we're like a
And
family.
yeah, it was a family. And so I didn't know she had a sister, a little sister. So the two girls sat on the floor by the fireplace. The two girls sat on the floor, and her father and I sat on the sofa in the front room. He sat on
Right.
one end of the sofa. I sat on the other end of the sofa. And he began talking to me about what's going on with my life. Where are you from? What are you doing? And my daughter says she met you, et cetera, et cetera. And she meets you every week and all that. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And so we were just talking. And then he said to me, we were just talking normal things that normally people talk about. And then he said to me, "Remember back in Florida when you were about 8 years old and your dad built a new back porch on your house? Remember that?"
Wow.
And that's
It crossed your mind or something. What crossed your mind? You were thinking about he's got cameras or something or what?
yeah, it scared me. I didn't want to show tears in front of my girlfriend,
Right.
but he scared me. And my thought was, how the hell does he know I was 8 years old and my dad built a back porch? Because that's true. He did build a back porch when I was 8 years old. But how would
Yeah.
this guy know that? How would he
Because
know that?
because at the time they were in cameras, like small cameras or anything, so you couldn't possibly think it must be a neighbor or something that saw me there, or we might cross paths or something, right? Or what
I
crossed your mind?
know, I know. I'm meeting him in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm meeting him in L.A., Los Angeles. I'm from Florida, the other side of the country.
Out of the blue with your girlfriend suddenly, huh?
All of a sudden, out of the blue, meeting the girlfriend's father, and he's telling me about when I was 8 years old and what happened to me when I was 8 years old back in Florida. And I thought, how does he know that? And it scared me. It really scared me. And he said, well, did that happen? And I said, yes, it did happen. And he said, well, how did I know that? And I said, I don't know how you know that. And he said, well, I know that because we were there. We saw you. And I said, what do you mean we? Who's we? We were there. I said, when I was 8 years old, I went out the back porch. I didn't see anybody. He said, no, no, you didn't see us. We saw you. You don't need to see us. So I said, what are you talking about? And he
You were
said, well,
peeping.
what are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about. We saw you. And he said, well, remember one night you were about 8 years old and you went out the back porch and you were supposed to be in bed sleeping. Remember that?
Hmm.
And I did remember that. And he said, and you went out the back porch and the wood your dad had used for the back porch was green lumber. And it smelled funny at night, the smell of the green lumber. You could smell it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, and remember how you picked the green lumber with your thumb, and you picked the green lumber and made a toothpick, and was doing picking your teeth with it and smelling it because it smelled funny. Remember when you did that? And that really scared me. And I'm
Hmm.
thinking, how does he know this stuff? Because in point of fact, I did do that. And I asked him, I said, who are you? Where? What are you talking about? You were there. I said, my dog was there. Nobody was there but him, and my dog and myself. I didn't see anybody. He said, no, you're not supposed to see us. We see you. And then he said, we have been watching you for a long time. And you like the subject of UFOs, don't you? And I said, yes, I do. And he said, you're very interested in extraterrestrial life, aren't you? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, would you like to see some UFOs up close tonight? And I said, yes, I would love to. He said, well, come with me. I can do that for you. Come with me. So
Wow.
he and I got up. I don't know what he was talking about. He said, come with me. You want to see some UFOs? I did. I'm a teenager, 19-year-old kid. Yeah, I'd like to see some. And he said, well, come with me. So I get up to go with him, and the two girls get up, and they come out too. And we go out in the front yard. It's about 11 o'clock at night, maybe midnight, in North Hollywood, 1959. And he looks up into the sky, and I'm standing with him, the two girls, the father, and myself. And he looks up into the sky and he starts inaudibly talking. His mouth is moving as if he's talking to someone, but you can't hear him.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he looks at me. He said, they said that they will be coming. They said they'll be coming from the south going north in about 2 minutes. And I said, who? He said, us. We're here. And he said, who it is not important. Who you are is important, not who we are. And I said, I don't understand what you're saying. He said, you don't have to. And he said, but just wait. You said you wanted to see UFOs? Yeah, well, then just wait. Give me 2 minutes. They're coming. And I thought to myself, how does he know that? And I turned to look south, and sure enough, three glowing objects the size of a full moon, not little lights in the sky, full moon size circular objects came from the south in Los Angeles going north. And they came
Wow.
over the house. They came over the house in a triangle formation, three of them. And they stopped right above us. They stopped right above our heads. And the bottom of these saucers, the bottom of these round saucer-shaped things,
Yeah, yeah.
was spinning different colors. It was like laser colors. There was like a pie cut in 6 or 8 pieces. Pie cut in different pieces, and each slice was a different color, and it was circulating beautiful colors. No sound whatsoever, but just beautiful colors circulating, and they were laser colors. I had never seen that kind of color before.
Like they
And
were like stars in the sky or something, but
well, it
moving
was a
around.
full moon. They would look like the full moon. That's how big it was, like a full moon.
Gosh.
There were three of them right over our heads, three of them. And they were
Hmm.
the same size as a full moon, but they were spinning colors. And it was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And I was fascinated with it. I'm just a 19-year-old kid, and I can't imagine this
Yeah,
man, my
freaking out,
girlfriend's
freaking out.
father. How can he do this? He just talks to the sky, and the UFOs show up.
But what was he talking through an earpiece? Do you notice that he's got some kind of device or something, or just like
No,
talking like that?
he just looks up in the sky and he starts talking, but you can't hear him. He's just talking, and I'm watching him doing that as he's talking to the sky. And then he said, "They said they'll be here in about 2 minutes. Just wait."
Hmm.
And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, you said you wanted to see UFOs up close. Is that what you said?" I said, "Yes, that's what I said." He said, "Well, then give me a minute. And they're coming. They'll be here in just a minute." And sure enough, they did come. There were three of them. And they came over the top and stopped, and they were in a triangle formation. There was three of them, and they were beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I had no idea in the world what I was looking at, but whatever it was beautiful. And so he looked up again and started talking to them again. And then he said, they said that they're leaving. They're going northward. They're leaving now. They're going north, but they'll be back around. They'll be watching you. Don't worry about it. They're
Hmm.
leaving right now. And they did. They started to leave very slowly. They didn't fly quickly. They started moving slowly until they were finally out of sight. And when they were gone, that's it. He said, "Well, that's it." And I said, "What did I just see? What did we just see?" He said, "We saw us. That's what you were seeing, us." I said, "Who is us? Who are you?" And he said, "We have been here for a long time. We've been watching you for a long time." And he said, and he also, I forgot to tell you, he said to me, "When you were sitting on that back porch that night when we saw you, you talked to God, didn't you?" And
Hmm.
I remember it was a full moon when I was 8 years old. I was sitting on the back porch in Florida and in Pensacola, and looking at the full moon. And as an 8 year old, I was talking to God, and audibly, I was talking to God. And
Hmm.
I said to God, "Well, he told me," he said, "You talked to God, didn't you?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And he said, "And what did you say to God?" I didn't say anything. I didn't know what to say. And he said, "I'll tell you what you said. You asked God to allow you to do something important in your life. You didn't want to be here just because you were born. You wanted to do something of importance with your life. Is that what you said?" And I said,
Gosh.
"Yes, that's what I said." And he said, "Well, we heard you. We were there. So we are going to give you something important to do. You asked God to let you do something important, so we'll give you something important to do." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "What we want you to do, we brought you." Then he said to me, "How come you're in Los Angeles? What brought you here? Why are you here?" And I said, "I don't know why I'm here. I just had to come." And he said, "That's right. I brought you here. I brought you to Los Angeles. And why did I bring you? Because you said to God you wanted to do something important with your life. So I'm going to let you do something important with your life." And I thought to myself, "Who are you? Where do you come from? You just look up in the sky and UFOs come, and now you're talking like you're in charge of the whole world?" I thought to myself, "Who are you?" And he said, "It doesn't matter who I am. It doesn't matter who I am. It matters is what you're going to do for us. We have something for you to do." And he said, "But what you're going to do will not happen for till the end of your life. We have given you something to do, but it won't happen till the end of your life. So don't worry about what you're going to do right now. You're only 19 years old. Don't worry about it. It won't come to the last part of your life. We have something for you to do. After all, you did ask God to let you do something, so we're going to let you do something. And I said, what am I supposed to do? He says, not important. Don't worry about it. When it comes time, when you get old enough and it comes time for you to do what we want you to do, we'll let you know. You will know. You'll already know what you have to do. So don't worry about it. Just go on out and live your life, and you will meet who you're supposed to, and you will learn what you're supposed to, and we'll make sure you meet who you're supposed to, and we will train you. Little by little, we will train you so that when it comes time, you know what you have to do. We don't have to tell you nothing.
And this Jordan, what happened then with your girlfriend and the family, the alien family? Did they
Yeah.
leave? Did just from night to day suddenly disappear? They vanish, or did they call you and say, "Hey, we're going"? What
So,
happened?
and so that night, when I'm talking to the father, I
Hmm.
look at my girlfriend and she's smiling and looking at me because I could tell she was thinking she wanted to see how I was reacting to her father. She already knew who he was and what he does, but she wanted to see how I would react to him. And I looked at her and I looked at the father and I thought, who am I? Who is this girl I'm with? Who is her father? Why am I here? None of it makes any sense to me. No, because you're just a kid. And so eventually, I used to go over to their house sometimes on weekends. It was only a block away. And I go over to their house and we would go out and taking a drive. We'd go way out in the desert and have breakfast. And we'd drive here and drive there and spend a lot of time together with me and my girlfriend and her family, the other two girls,
Hmm.
the two girls, the mother and the father, and me.
Wow.
And then one day, I went over to their house, which was only a block away. I went over to her house, and they were gone, totally gone. The windows and the doors of the house were wide open, no furniture, nothing. They had vacated and gone. And I was really very depressed because they were like a family to me. And
Yeah, I
now they're
hear.
gone. My girlfriend didn't tell me they were going. They didn't call me. They didn't tell me. They didn't do anything. They just left. That's it.